Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about worshiping yourself doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Worshiping yourself does not feel right because we supposed to worship God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen something about people who worship themselves and people who have all this ego? They walking around stuck up with all this ego. They think they are some type of, bro, they think they some type of somebody, bro. They think they all that, right? But let me tell you something. Worshiping yourself does not feel right, bro. Because we're not supposed to worship ourselves, bro. We're supposed to worship God, bro. You see what I'm saying? When you worship yourself, bro, it don't feel right, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. When you start worshiping yourself, bro, you will start getting demonized, bro. Like these people be caught up in themselves, bro. Lovers of themselves, caught up in their ego, bro. You know what I'm saying? They caught up in the ego. They lovers of themselves. They stuck up. And then they wonder why their life is messed up. They cursed. Bro, when you start worshiping yourself, you get cursed by God, bro. Because God did not create you to worship yourself. God did not create you to have all this ego and this pride, bro. To whereas you don't want to worship God, you want to worship yourself. Bro, do you know what it means when you want to worship yourself instead of worshiping God? It means that you think you're better than God, bro. Like, really, when you think about it, bro, in a lot of cases, bro, some of these people who have all this ego, they really think they are their own God, bro. They think they really don't need God for real. They think they are their own God, bro. Really? How can a two-legged creation think that they are their own God, bro, when they was created by God? That don't even be making sense. You gotta have some type of humility, bro. You gotta humble yourself down for real, bro. Because worshiping yourself doesn't feel right, bro. Like, that's why when you hang around all these people who have all this huge ego, you don't feel right. Have you noticed something about hanging around these people who have all this huge ego, huge pride about themselves? They think they are God or something. The energy, bro, it don't feel right, bro. The energy feels cursed. Why? What do you mean, why? God cursed them, that's why. The energy feels cursed because they are cursed. You know what I'm saying? Because we not supposed to be worshiping ourselves, bro. When you worship yourself, it don't even feel right. Hey, you mess around, start worshiping yourself, start getting dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Start losing energy. Start having health problems. I wonder why. You know what? I wonder why too, bro. Hey, bro, God works in mysterious ways. I wonder why. When you worshiping yourself, you start losing energy. You start getting sick. Your health is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Your life is messed up. Everything falling apart. I wonder why. I wonder why too, man. You're cooked. God is cooking you. That's why. God is cooking you. He's cooking your energy. He's cooking everything. He's cooking your brain cells. He's cooking your medulla oblongata. All that. He's cooking everything. That's why, bro, when you sense like these people who have such a huge ego, it's not fun to hang around them, bro. Keep it real, bro. You can't tell them nothing. You got these people, you can't tell them nothing for real. They think they all that, you can't tell them nothing. They cursed. Based off of that alone, they cursed because you can't tell them nothing. They have so much pride and so much ego, they can't humble themselves down before God. So if God can't tell them nothing, what make you think you could tell them something? Let me repeat that one more time, bro. If God cannot tell these people nothing, what make you believe that you could tell them something? You can't tell them nothing, bro. You cannot tell them nothing because God can't tell them nothing. So they supposed to listen to you, but they ain't even listening to God. How? Man, they ain't gonna listen to you. And then look though, bruh, this is bad right here. You got some people get into relationship with these people who have all this ego and they think they are their own God. How are you getting into a relationship with somebody who think that they are their own God, bro? You getting into a world of stress. These people who have all this huge ego and huge pride and huge, they worship themselves, or lovers of themselves, whatever you want to call it. they most likely have the tendency to also be narcissistic and to also, bro, if you're a woman and you get into a relationship with a dude who's filled with ego and pride and they worship themselves, they might put their hands on you, bro, because they already have that narcissistic superiority complex. You get what I'm? They already have that. They already demonized, bro. They have that demonized mindset. So it's like they mindset is already cooked. So they might put their hands on you, bro. You can't be getting into no relationship with somebody who's filled with pride. They worshiping themselves. They lovers of themselves. All this is narcissism. All this stuff is narcissism. So it wouldn't be far-fetched for them to put their hands on you because they already a narcissist. They already have all this ego and this pride. They think they are God. They are. If somebody worship themselves, if somebody have this ego and this pride, most likely 9 times out of 10 they also have anger problems. Have you noticed something about people with a huge ego? They quick to anger, aren't they? Pay attention to people who have a huge ego and a huge pride and they worship themselves and they think they are God. They quick to anger, aren't they, bro? When you really just think about it, people who are filled with pride and ego and people who worship themselves, they quick to anger, aren't they, bro? Just pay attention to some of the people, some of these dudes with the most ego in the world, right? Why is it that these men who have all this ego and this pride, why? Have you noticed one thing the majority of them have in common? Like I said, they quick to anger, aren't they, bro? Why are they quick to anger? Because they cursed by God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Patience, bro. That comes from the Holy Spirit. Patience comes from the Holy Spirit. Humility, bro, it comes from God. Humility is a gift from God. Patience is a gift from God. So if they think they own God and they rejected God, no wonder they quick to anger, don't it? You know what I'm saying? Have you noticed something about some of these people who reject Jesus? Bro, these people who reject Jesus, bro, have you noticed they quick to anger, bro? They have zero patience. Majority of these people who reject God and they reject Jesus, have you noticed majority of them is quick to anger, don't it? It's crazy, bro. I wonder why. Because they curse, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They are cursed by God, bro, and that's just how it is, though. But I just wanted to talk about this, man. Like, worshiping yourself doesn't feel right, bro. It doesn't feel right, bro. It's like it's too much heat and too much pressure that going on within your chest, bro. When you try to worship yourself, if it's like God already created the red flags within your chest, within your heart. Man, you feel like your chest is on fire when you try to worship yourself. You feel dizzy all tight because you ain't supposed to be the one worshipped. We're supposed to worship God. We're supposed to honor and glorify God and to uplift God's name. You see what I'm saying? But that's just basically everything I wanted to say, bro. Peace.